Hey, what's up, family? It's your girl Angie Stone. I did an impromptu this morning. Happy holidays. I'm just gonna wait for some people to get in here. Some stuff I need to talk about. I didn't go about it the setup way, mainly because I've been dealing with a lot the last month, a whole lot. I want to let you guys know I almost didn't make it through this process because it was something that just kind of hit me. It was a couple days, a day or so before I was scheduled to fly out to Detroit. What happened 2 days before my show? Whew. But God, I'm trying to keep from crying because the devil was very, very, very particular in targeting me. But anyway, I was rushed to the hospital because I wasn't breathing so well. Came to find out I had what was a bacterial blood infection that I had gotten when they stuck me with the needle. It had went into my bloodstream and caused a staph infection of the blood. Now, I didn't have a clue that there was a blood infection until they rushed me into ICU. I went into ICU and I went to use the restroom and I passed out in the restroom. My oxygen went all the way down and rendered me basically unconscious. When I came back to, the nurses began to tell me that I was screaming for Jesus because when I went down, I'm sorry, I didn't know that I didn't know what was happening. All I know is it was all of a sudden. And I began to praise God and call on his name because I knew biblically that if I was transitioning, I needed to be calling on Jesus. And I need to be calling him by his name. So I began to scream his name. When they brought me to is when they told me I was lucky to be alive because I was on the floor. And sorry. I knew it was an attack. I knew it was a spiritual attack on me. However, I was treated and God healed me. He cleared up. After 2 weeks, solid, they cleared up the blood infection. I'm just here to let you know the only reason I hadn't been on my live and just getting with y'all on this because I had to get postured with God one-on-one. Sometimes God will make you stand still when you're doing the most you can for everyone. He will stand you still so that your complete focus can be on him. God he knew that I was about to come into some things. And as I began to come back to myself completely, I remembered everything that I was working on. I remember the people that were in my immediate circle that were supposed to be there to help me. By the time it was all said and done, the Christmas song had been snatched down. For what reason? I wasn't in a position to really fight that. I had to fight to live. So I couldn't worry about that because I knew that it would take care of itself. But not without the devil trying to blame me for the mishap. Lo and behold, I won't call any names, but people quit on me because they thought it was me. like I said, I can't call any names because I'm not that vicious. I don't want to hurt anybody, and I really don't want it to be their downfall. But I will tell you, people left me in that dark moment when I really needed support. My kids were there for me. My true friends were there for me because they knew this is serious. They thought that blood infection would have damaged my heart, so I went into a lot of testing to make sure there was not heart scarring. Lo and behold, all of that came out fine. I was not scarred by the heart, thank God. But the staph infection was supposed to scar the heart and the lungs, and it cleared up.
The popular singer Angie Stone hopped on Instagram Live, like you saw at the beginning of this video, to reveal her recent health scare to the fans. The new soul pioneer Angie Stone recently opened up about her battle with severe blood infection and allegations of financial misconduct by her record label. Also, those rumors also came in highlighting the persistent issues within the music industry. She stated that a blood infection left her hospitalized and unable to perform. Thankfully, after 2 weeks, the infection cleared up. However, as she was getting better, Angie says she learned that her record label had been allegedly stealing money, from her. And of course, she didn't give a lot of details, but she hinted on that. And according to the Jasmine brand, they said that the Grammy nominated artist spent 2 weeks under intensive medical care fighting an infection that threatened not only her career but also her life. And of course, during that recovery period, she discovered one of the concerns that is so popular right about now in the music industry. And of course, this has even reignited the conversations about artists compensation and record labels having accountability in the music business. This experience mirrors countless stories we've heard over the years of accomplished artists, most especially those who rose to prominence during the late 80s and 90s. And because at the time, the contracts they signed, they never clearly stated how they are going to consider streaming, which is really very popular in this moment in time. The music industry's evolution from physical album sales to streaming has, by the way, complicated artist compensation, making transparency and fair treatment increasingly critical. And of course, veteran industry musicians often find themselves navigating complex contracts signed decades ago that may not adequately address the modern revenue streams. So it's the same case Angie Stone is facing right now. She discovered that her record label was eating a lot of money. They were stealing some of her money, and of course it's really very absurd for a successful musician not to earn from her own sweat.